where the Hebrew Israelites here to prophesy the downfall of this wicked kingdom, to speak about the upliftment of Yahweh Shai, which is the only begotten Son of the Heavenly Father Yahweh, coming back to deliver the elect of the nation of Israel. So first and foremost, we want to face east. Give all praise, glory, and honor
to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kodash.
Belongs to the apostles, the elders of Great Millstone. Salutations, much love and respect to Akim out there, pushing this word out in truth and sincerity. So, you know, just earlier today, I did a lesson, you know, called "You Can't Be a Crash Out in This Truth," you know, and you know, brothers should go watch that video because it goes into the, you know, the mentality of, and why people crash out. You know, a lot of you jakes, man, you know, self-control, you know, discipline is a problem for you, you know, and there's reasons for that. You know, the conditions that you came up in, you know, the environment that you're a part of, that all ties in. And the scripture says to what? Be angry and sin not. So you can't just let your emotions overtake you where you become out of order, you know. Let me get that be angry and sin not. What you got?
Yeah, it says here in Proverbs 16 and 32, he that is slow to anger is better than the mighty, and he that ruleth his spirit than he that taketh the city.
Right, you gotta be slow to anger, meaning you have to have understanding of what's going on, right? Just to see, to really analyze the situation. The way you really stop from crashing out is once the situation arises, pause, analyze the situation. What's really going on? You know, is this a demon talking through this guy to vex my spirit? Am I overreacting because I'm in a negative spirit, a mad spirit, an aggravated spirit? You know? And then you weigh the pros and cons of, does this make sense to go forward? You understand what I'm saying? You gotta weigh the pros and cons in situations, man. That's why it's good to pause. When you don't pause and you just go, you act rationally, sin comes about. Okay? Even with your mouth. Scriptures speak about how that small member causes a lot of people to be destroyed.
Right.
You can't just go with your mouth and lash out. I don't like the order that was put out, nigga. You know, you say something and the Lord's looking at you with anger, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's the thing. The anger, if you're not able to control it, that will make you to skip that step of analyzing, of taking a step back and assessing the situation. Okay, if you move according to your feelings, to your emotion, you will make the wrong decision.
Yes, that's why you have to pause. Yeah. You have to pause, you have to analyze the situation. You really have to use understanding and wisdom, right? You have the truth, you have to use the wisdom and knowledge that you have from the truth. That's it. You know? That's it on that. Okay, go ahead.
Ephesians 4, in verse 26. Be ye angry and sin not.
Right, be ye angry and sin not. So there's nothing wrong with being angry. You're going to get angry. You're going to get vexed being in this society. Right? But you're not supposed to use that as an excuse to sin. You know? Go ahead.
Let not the sun go down upon your wrath.
Yeah, that's another thing. You holding these grudges, you know? Not letting things go. You have to learn how to let things go. Right? Because if you don't, it builds up. If not, you address an individual directly, you know? You know, a brother that's in a state of, you know, being a man, he's going to address the situation he has with a brother. Listen, I didn't like this and this and that. You know, I want to make sure that the situation is resolved, you know? That's the way to go about it, you know? And then if he doesn't hear you, and it's a situation, then guess what? You know, you bring it to somebody else, you know? And if that brother can't hear two people telling him, listen, we believe you're going off, then something's up with that brother, you know? More than likely, you know? More than likely, you know? Because even if he's, let's say he's in the right, both of those brothers are wrong, you know, the scriptures speak about taking the low.
That's right.
You know? So when are you going to apply that? You may disagree with one brother, but then two brothers tell you when are you going to apply taking the low? See, so that reveals a sense of pride in that individual, you know? But
it says, neither give place to the devil.
Right, because when you do that, when you start to get angry, guess what? And you hold on to that leaves room for Satan to operate. That's easy work for Satan, right? That's why I made that video about Rajah Jackson was easy work for Satan. All them things that accumulated was just building up that wrath in this guy, and then he lost it. See? Ruin your life with one incident, man. You know, one incident ruined your whole life. You know? Satan will jump on one person, and then another set of demons will jump on the next person, all working to the same goal to get you to crash out. You know? Go ahead.
This is the book of Hebrews 12 and 15. Looking diligently, lest any man fail of the grace of the Most High, lest any root of bitterness springing up trouble you, and thereby many be defiled.
That's right. To prove like that, hey, to prove that Satan can work through multiple people to get you to do something wicked. Look at Ahab. You know, the Most High sent that left-handed angel to all of his prophets that were the company of prophets that were amongst them. See, so they were all working together. The demons were jumping on each of them to work to bring that back to the battle, man. You know, just like these demons jump on different people to bring you into the state of crashing out, the state of sinning, the state of going off, man. You know? You know?
Yeah, because that's a lot. Just got to the point because, you know, saying it comes in your mind, you know, to persuade you or whatever that it is that, it's actually happening. You know, these people are saying this, that, and the third. So you start overthinking it, and it becomes a big problem. You know, to where that, you do something that's irrational, man. Like you brought up the point of, like, certain things that you might have against a brother. It's best to communicate. You know, because most of the time you're just probably overthinking, and then when you speak to the brother, you're like, okay, shit, I was overthinking it. And that wrath or that tension ceases, man. That's why it's important to communicate with the body.
That's right. Right. It may be just a misunderstanding. Maybe a big brother may not have known. You bring it to him, and then he feels bad, and then your wrath, that wrath is appeased.
Good. This is Ephesians 4:31. Let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and evil speaking be put away from you with all malice.
That's right. Yeah. Let that be put away from you. You gotta make sure you quench that. And then you have to work to quench that in your own mind. No one can really quench it for you. Yeah. You gotta work to quench that within your own mind. Because if you don't, you're easy work for Satan. Easy work. Right?
And being kind.
Well, that's what happened recently with an individual, talking ill against, men of the Lord, the apostles, okay? Because what? He allowed Satan to infiltrate because of whatever gripe he had. Instead of expressing the gripe, just holding it in and then allowing it to build,
Good. And being kind one to another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, even as the Most High, for Yahweh's sake, hath forgiven you.
Right. Which I'm not even too much of a fan of, brother, a man gets kicked out and then brothers bring out, and I didn't like the way he tied his shoes. I'm not really a fan of that either, because it's just kind of like it's like hypocrisy, because like, if it's a thing that you got a problem with, all of that should have been addressed, like in a sense of, you know what I mean? Like, you don't just let it slide if it's a big problem. If it's not that big of an issue, it doesn't even need to be addressed. Only the problem the main issue needs to be addressed. And when these brothers get say, Lord, y'all shine for me, one of the brothers get kicked out, and then, like, I'm not going to bring them, I didn't like the way he looked. After camp, he always had a funny look. I'm not going to say that, because, if it's an issue, I'm only dealing with the issue. Like, we told him about this, he kept doing it, kept doing it, led to this and that. I'm sticking on the issue. That's why that nigga's kicked out. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, yeah.
I'm sticking on the issue.
That's right.
Because other than that, everything needs to be addressed. Right? I mean, excuse me, anything that's worthy of being addressed needs to be addressed.
That's right.
Okay? Well,
That's the same way that the Most High treats us as well.
that's right.
When you're going off, the Lord, if you're really of his flock, he'll correct you straight away so that you don't keep going the wrong way.
That's right.
Okay? You'll be the situation that you're going off in, it will be addressed in the
Right.
spirit so that you can be corrected.
Right. Be not ignorant of a small nor large matter. But and if it's a matter, well, let me say this: if it's a matter that really is not, it's just in your own head. It's really not. It's really not. He's not doing nothing wrong. You just don't like it.
Yeah.
That's you. Now you got to address yourself. You know, that way, brother, way they choose the gum. You know, it's like I mean, if he's chewing like a cow, you know, you can tell the brother something. But that's not a reason for offense, you know. But like, you know, I'm trying to think of something on the fly, but you know what I mean. Something that's small, but it's not going on. You know what I'm trying to say. But it may be a little bit, because every brother has a different spirit, you know. You may not really agree with it so much, you know. Okay, so that was it on that?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Real quick, 2 Corinthians 13 and 5. Examine yourselves whether ye be in the faith. Prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves how that Yahushua HaMashiach is in you, except ye be reprobates.
Yeah, you got to examine yourself as well, right? See if you're going off. You know, see if you're doing something that's maybe you're too sensitive. A lot of brothers is too sensitive coming from this world. You know, you're in that feminine spirit. You know, I don't like the way he raised his voice. You know, that's not a masculine. You know, you got to be able to accept it, to be able to accept rebuke. You know, hey, King David was the king. He accepted rebuke from even someone who was way lower than him. That wicked Benjaminite was speaking. He accepted it. He said, maybe the Lord wants me to hear something. See? And he was cursing him out, boy. He wasn't just, you know, Benjamin, hey, boy, you're bad, boy. You're too bad, man. That's going down. Russell, wow. You're too bad, man. What?
He's following them when they were walking.
Yeah. Spit. You know?
Bloody man.
Yeah. Bloody man. Too much blood I had. You know, Benjamin can get, when it comes to cursing out somebody, Benjamin can get aggressive, man. Go ahead.
It says here, Deuteronomy 1 and 17, ye shall not respect persons in judgment.
Right.
But ye shall hear the small as well as the great, and ye shall not be afraid of the face of men, for the judgment is of the Most High. And the cause that is too hard for you, bring it unto me, and I will hear it.
What you got?
This is Proverbs 27. I'll start out verse 4. It says, wrath is cruel and anger is outrageous. But who?
Yeah, wrath is cool. When someone's in wrath, they're not thinking about mercy. When they're in a state of wrath, well, I gotta use the Raja situation. Man. When he's in a state of, the man was already knocked out. So when he hit him on the cat, he's already knocked out. The moon gave him the hardest blows that you could get. And I don't give a damn about that either. But I'm just saying, you're not even using common sense. That way. You see that with Jake in different street fights. I always seen that back in the day when I used to watch them street fights. Jake will get a Jake on him, but they'll kick him in his face. The dude's already knocked out. You could give the man brain damage like that.
Yeah.
And the situation wasn't even that big anyway. You see, when you're in that state of wrath, and that mercy is not on your mind. You know what I mean? You're not thinking about mercy when you're in that state. Okay? It's just rage, just blind rage. You know? And yo, that's how Esau rules. He rules, the scriptures say that giving them a perpetual stroke will rule the people with wrath. Yeah, he's in a state of, he don't care about mercy, man. You don't want to take the loan? You don't want to take the loan?
Okay.
Bomb it. There's children, they just bomb it. You see? That's how Esau operates, man. He's always in the spirit of wrath. Okay? Wait till Esau unleashes his wrath on you Jakes, on you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, man, starting in Babylon and Great America. And you're going to see some wrath, man. You're going to see some wrath. There ain't going to be no mercy. And he showed you that in Katrina. He didn't have mercy in Katrina. There's the accounts where, you know, certain neighbors, black neighbors would come in. They're going to surpass certain neighborhoods, maybe because there was no food or anything around. And you got these guys sniping them down with rifles, man. They're supposed to be their neighbors and whatnot, right? Well, they threw that lovely spirit, you know, that fake love to the side. Okay? Go ahead.
It says, wrath is cruel and anger is outrageous. But who is able to stand before envy? It says, open rebuke is better than secret love.
Right.
It says, faithful are the wounds of a friend, but the kisses of an enemy are deceitful.
Yes, that's it. So that wrath, man, is cruel, man. It comes with cruelty. Go ahead.
Psalms 109, and I'll start at 16.
Well, that's what those Israelis are doing to the Palestinians. They're showing wrath. Bombing built hospitals with children. That's wrath. You know, that's wrath. That's not. That's why they're not showing mercy. You know, what you did in that day. Everything's got to die. Right. Right. Everything. That's wrath. Right. You know, they're making fun of it. Right? There's no mercy there. You know. Go ahead.
Psalms 109 and 16, because that he remembered not to show mercy, but persecuted the poor and needy man, that he might even slay the broken in heart, as he loved cursing.
And Esau's still in a state of wrath because of his birthright. The elites, they're still angry because of the birthright. Man, his spirit, he's still angry about that, man. Esau didn't forget about that. All right? He said that, you know, the days of mourning for my father at hand, you know, then I will slay my brother Jacob. He's still in that spirit of slaying Jacob. You know? Go ahead.
Yeah, it says here, as he loved cursing, so let it come unto him. As he delighted not in blessing, so let it be far from him.
Right. That's it. Sit on that?
That's it.
Okay. Go ahead. All right. No, I got it. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, this is Amos 1 and 11. Thus say Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, for 3 transgressions of Edom and for 4,
Right.
I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever.
Yeah? And who's his brother? That's speaking about Jacob. So that same mindset that Esau back then, when it was actually the man Esau and the man Jacob, is still there now. You know, that wrath and whatnot. Yeah, he kept it forever. You know he taught his children that Jacob was really wicked. You know? Although when Jacob saw him, gave him a kiss and whatnot, he still had that wrath.
He met him with 400 men.
Yeah.
The king of New Jacob with 400 men. He knew his intentions was
To catch up. It wasn't to catch up.
Good.
Yep, it says Ezekiel 35 and verse
You know he had that pride too. He kissed one another.
No,
Yeah. Seeing you was like seeing the face of God. You know? We won't kill him. You know? Yeah. Not yet.
Yeah, Ezekiel 35 and verse 5.
They give me a Revelation 12
It says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity and the time where their iniquity had a plenty.
Yeah, Esau didn't want Jacob's. Even now, he doesn't want Jacob's calamity to happen and iniquity to happen, meaning judgment. He wants Jacob to be in that perpetual state. And that's why he's doing that demonization campaign right now. So that what he can justify the bringing down that wrath. You know, going to these different cities with the National Guard. And Esau's egging it on. But, you know, why is he egging it on? Because to them it's pleasure to see Jacob catching hell. Yeah. They're catching hell too, right? But it brings them joy to see Jake catching hell. See? So-called blacks and Latinos and Native Americans. All right? Is it on that?
This is Revelation 12 and 17. And the dragon was wroth with the woman and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of Yahweh.
Yeah, and that dragon, that's dealing with what? That's dealing with this Edomite power structure, man. Okay? That's what's coming down. That's coming down on Jake, on the Israelites, the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. Okay? What do you think Trump is doing with putting the National Guard? That's preparing for what's to come. Okay? All it takes is for someone to do one act, right? Agent provocateur do one act, and boom, they can come down straight. And they're already, those army men are already set up in those cities. All right? see? Or at least they're getting ready to be set up in Chicago and things like that. I don't know if they're there yet, but they're getting ready to be set up in those cities. So those are Israelite cities, man. You know? So it's nothing for him. And he's getting ready to use that, man. It's not going to be a joke when he really unleashes that. He's going to set up the reason to unleash that. You know, he's not just going to unleash, he's going to set the reason up to unleash.
That's right. That's right.
You know how Esau gets down. You know how the serpent gets down.
Yeah, that's
Right?
that Hegelian dialectic, that problem reaction solution.
That's right. That's right.
So create a problem, then wait for the reaction or influence the reaction to then bring a solution.
That's right. That's right.
It's an old game.
It's an old game. It's an old game.
Okay, so reading on.
Where is this going? I'm sorry.
These are the 12 tribes of Israel.
No, but the point.
It said on the right, these are their names today. This is their actual tribe. This is their actual
Yeah, I
names.
know.
This is what they're called today, lined up with the exact tribe. You see yourself on the sign? Where do you see yourself on the sign?
What?
Do you see yourself on the sign, as in your nation on the sign?
No, Nicaraguan.
Okay, is that your father's Nicaraguan?
Yes.
Right? The descendant of Nicaraguans? Okay, so that means you're an Israelite, buddy. You're from, I believe that's Zebulon?
Guatemala to Panamanian.
Yes.
Okay,
So
that's
within that.
that's
all
Central
of
America.
those indigenous, those are Israelites from the tribe of Zebulon,
Zebulon.
according to the prophecy. Okay, that makes you a son of God. You also from Nicaragua? You're also an Israelite. Peru would be Asher, from the tribe of Asher. Okay. You are also you're a daughter of God. Okay, meaning we're the chosen seed the Heavenly Father chose.
Judah is the oldest, right?
Yeah,
Benjamin is the youngest.
Judah's not the oldest, but it's the head tribe.
He's the head.
The head tribe, the so-called
Which was the tribe?
African
The
Americans.
tribe that got divided after the.
Oh, that would be the Southern Kingdom, which would be the so-called Negroes, the African Americans, the Caribbean blacks, the so-called Haitian blacks. Those are your brothers that got separated. You got separated because you went into slavery first, going back to get the history.
What country are you from?
Well, I'm from Jamaica. So I'll be from the tribe of Benjamin. He's a so-called Haitian. Okay, tribe of Levi, Judah. Okay, so this is a very important thing for you to understand because this is a secret that's been hidden for many centuries. Okay, so now
I read the Bible. I know, but these people here in Canada,
they don't know. They don't know. But I want to read you a prophecy before you go, so you can see how your people got to this side. Go ahead.
You want Kings or you want Second Ezra?
For 1 second, as
It's the book of 2 Ezra 13 and verse 39. And whereas thou sawest that he gathered another peaceable multitude unto him, those are the 10 tribes.
The 10 tribes, which would be now, is 9, because it used to have Dan, but Dan is no longer amongst the tribes, because it's not written about in Revelations, right, when it speaks about the gathering of the 12 tribes. So now we got these, okay, which are the 9. Go ahead.
Which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king.
Right, because what happened with them is that they started to go into idol worship. Judah and the southern kingdom, right, they weren't into idol worship like that, right, as much as they were. They went deep into idol worship when they split after King Solomon. Okay, that's why the Lord kept saying, I have a problem with Israel. Judah, I'm okay with Judah for now. Judah's okay, but Israel, I'm a cast you off, right? But later on, what happened? Judah also got cast off. But we're reading about the fact of what happened to them. You guys first. Go ahead.
It says, these are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king, whom Salmanassar, the king of Assyria, led away captive.
Right.
And he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land.
Right.
But they took this counsel among themselves, that they will leave the multitude of the heathen,
Right.
and go forth into a further country where never mankind
That's
dwells.
the key. Did you hear that? They would take the counsel amongst themselves to go to a country, a further country, where never mankind dwelt. That's the new world. That's the Americas. They took that counsel, leaders amongst the northern kingdom, okay? And they did that. They left. And they said, well, no, we're going to keep the laws of Heavenly Father that, according to a covenant in that way. Go ahead.
That they might keep that they might there keep their statutes which they never kept in their own land.
Right.
And they entered into Euphrates by the narrow places of the river. For the Most High then showed signs for them,
Yep.
and held still the flood.
So he made sure they got by safely as a people, right? He showed them different signs in the sky and guide them on those long boat rides. Go ahead.
It says, till they were passed over. For through that country there was a great way to go,
Yep.
namely of a year and a half.
That was through across the Atlantic, a year and a half. You don't really take a year and a half to go from anywhere on the eastern coast. No, that was across the Atlantic. So the lie that they tell you and tell us is that you came through some ice age in the Bering Strait, which makes absolutely no sense. Where did you get food from? You're passing by foot now. That's going to take years. Where did you get food? What did you hunt? Where did you get food? In the ice age, you're walking over. You know what I mean? With no greenery, no nothing. It makes no sense. It's a story they put up to cover the truth. And the truth is that, whoa, they did this to the God's chosen people. Anyone that reads the Bible is going to say, so what's going to happen to this king? You understand? Because if you did this to God's chosen people, there's something that's coming for you. Go ahead.
It says here, for through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half, and the same region is called Arsareth.
Arsareth, right? Which is another land, right?
That's the definition of Arsareth.
Another land. But we don't need to get that. But Arsareth means another land. Just to go through it quickly. Go ahead.
Okay, then dwelt they there until the latter time, and now when they shall be
hold on. They dwelt there until the latter time. You have to get these key words. We're in the latter time now, meaning that they would still be there in the latter time. Get me Judah and Israel were joined together. Now we're in the latter time. This is the time where the Lord is going to come back and deliver the elect, the chosen of His people. This is why we're out here, to call upon the chosen of our people to come back to the truth. Okay, go ahead.
Then dwelt they there until the latter time, and now when they shall begin to come, the Most High shall stay the springs of the stream again, that they may go through. Therefore sawest thou the multitude of peace.
Right. So that was speaking about how the northern kingdom came to this side of the world, and they're going to be here to the latter times until the deliverance. Okay. So what you have to understand is at that time when you first came here, the southern kingdom wasn't here. The southern kingdom was in what? They were in the Babylonian captivity.
Yeah.
Okay. When you read about Daniel, Nebuchadnezzar, right? Daniel, the three holy children. That would be the southern kingdom tribes. Okay. When the Lord came on the scene, because the Lord is from the tribe of Judah. When He came on the scene, they were under the Roman captivity.
Yeah.
Okay. And there's one point when the Lord said this. He said, "I have sheep ye know not of, other sheep ye know not of." He was speaking about you on this side of the earth, the Israelites on this side of the earth. By the way, there's even accounts within the Navajo tribe that speaks about when they encountered the Lord. He taught them certain things. Okay? So this is all important history that has been hidden, but it's very important now because we're coming to the time of the Great Awakening when the Lord will have to gather the elect. Okay? So just know that you are an Israelite, brother. Know that you're an Israelite. Know that you're an Israelite sister. So you have to, understand that when you think about yourself, don't think about what you were taught. Know that you are a son and a daughter of God, a chosen lineage. Very important to know. Very important. You have any other questions you want to ask? No? No problem. You guys take care. You guys have a good night, all right? Bye, eh?
And I wish you luck.
All right, take care, man.
His name is Yahweh.
Your name is Yahweh. Yep. They'll find it out. They'll find out. They'll find out eventually. Have a good night, man. Take care, man. Take care. Go ahead.
You want that Jeremiah?
Read it. Read it.
It says here in Jeremiah 50 and 33, thus said the Lord of hosts, the children...
The elect will come back for the food. You know what I'm saying? One way or another. The elect will come back for the food. Now, we put out information, but the elect will come back for the food. Go ahead.
The children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed
Because I was
together.
thinking about that the other day. It's like, even the Italian dude that passes by from time to time, he comes, but he's not really paying attention like that.
The Greek guy?
Yeah, he's not really paying attention like that. It's like when we first, the Greek, but when we first, I know when I first heard this truth, there's no way I would be passing by and looking around the earth. I was fixed on this truth. Everything, I was attentive to everything that was coming out. I would be in the spirit of, I have a question, I have a question. I would have a million questions for you. sincere questions. You know what I mean? So you got to think about that. You know, how did you come into this truth? You know, this is for the small few.
That's right.
You know, will the Lord shake things up to start bringing in Jake from different parts? Absolutely. You know, that may have heard the word already, and then kind of put it to the side. He's gonna shake things up to have certain of them come in.
That's right.
But you know, that's for who it is for. You know, so we don't gotta worry our head, you know, about getting these people, man.
That's right. That's right.
You know, we're fishing out here. Go ahead.
The children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together.
Right.
And all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go.
They refused to let them go. You know? So guess what? Hey, we're still under captivity under these Edomites. What do you think the birth certificate is? That's a slave certificate. Okay? That's what that is. You got a number on there, you know, social security. Right? Sovereigns don't have that.
That's right. That's right.
You know? So all of these people are in captivity. But the ones that the Heavenly Father is focused on is the Israelites. Go ahead.
It says here in Baruch 2, and I'll start at 29. If ye will not hear my voice, surely this very great multitude shall be turned into a small number among the nations, where I will scatter them. For I knew that they will not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivity, they shall remember themselves.
Jake got enough food that they got to ponder on for the rest of the power of
I'm just saying like
They're going to be thinking about that, you know? You know? You might be sitting down, laying down at night, looking in the ceiling. No, man, son of God. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
Right, like scriptures say how that Paul planted and Paul was watered, but to the Most High to give the increase.
That's right.
So ultimately, you know, if the person's meant to get it, the Most High is going to work on their mind, you know, to bring forth that increase. Man. You know, they're going to be captivated and, you know, it's going to intrigue their mind. They're going to come back and seek more.
That's right.
That's right. It's crazy.
You might got into a brother's video.
Yep. You might stumble on one by accident.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh, I heard this before.
Right, I heard this.
That's those
before.
guys,
Speaking
you know?
Spanish.
What you
You know, honestly, the first time I heard it, actually the first time I seen the Apostles was like on World Star. You're a slut video. And I was like baffled. I was like, what is this? You know what I'm saying? And then the dudes around me were talking shit, laughing at them, but I was playing like in a serious spirit, like, whoa, what is this, bro? You know what I mean? And then I came across it like maybe like a couple months later or whatever. And I just kept looking, you know, watching, you know? You know, everything is in its time, you know? Go ahead.
Ephesians 1 and 12, that we should be to the praise of his glory, who first trusted in Hamashiach, in whom ye also trusted, after that ye heard the word of truth, the gospel of your salvation, in whom also after that ye believed, were sealed with the Holy Spirit of promise.
They were sealed with the Holy Spirit of promise. Okay? You know, when they heard it. You know, when they heard it, that didn't leave them. Well, get me that spirit behind you, that word behind you. Say something? No,
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. Oh, you got that? Okay, bring on out.
In the book of Isaiah 30 and 21, and thou here shall hear a word behind you, saying.
Well, read 20.
Okay. In the book of Isaiah 30 and 20, and it reads, and though the Lord gave you the bread of adversity and the water of affliction, yet shall not that teacher be removed into a corner anymore.
Oh, that's it. So your teachers are going to be here. The teachers are going to be seen. Go ahead.
But thy eyes shall see thy teachers, and thy ear shall hear a word behind you, saying, this is the way, walking in it, when you turn to the right hand and when you turn to the left.
Right. So you're going to see your teachers. Okay? And the Spirit is going to tell you, this is the way I need to walk in.
That's right.
Right? And nothing is stronger than that. No, nothing is stronger than that. You can't beat anybody to turn into the way. The Spirit is going to force them to turn into the way if they're of the elect.
That's right. That's right.
Just like the Spirit forced us to turn into the way. You know? I didn't have no choice. You think I was thrilled about, it was kind of excited about coming out and prophesying, but at the same time, it's like, damn, this is going to be embarrassing. You understand what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, what took over? The spirit.
That's right.
The spirit took over, man. I always say how I was telling brothers how the first time I came out, the N-Dub came out, I was laughing. All other people, you know?
Yeah.
I was enemy shaking. Yeah, the enemy. He is the enemy of the son. You know?
That's why it says, man's goings of the Lord, I can amend and understand his own way.
Right.
Yeah, because a lot of the people that pass by, they have their own business, their own errands they have to run. And then, they see the prophets, the word makes them turn. And then, they stay there for like 30 minutes, an hour. You know what I'm saying? Getting fed. Right? It's the spirit that's guiding them. Because in their mind, they don't think, well, today I'm going to stop by the prophets and get some food. They don't think about something else, man. But hey, they came across the prophets and they got fed. And the spirit that moved them to just stay there and just listen. Regardless of what they had to do.
A lot of times when I have something to do and they end up staying for
What you say?
I said a lot of times they say I have to go, then they end up staying.
Okay, yeah, kind of.
This is Jeremiah 10 and 23. O Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, I know that the way of man is not in himself, it is not in man that walketh to direct his steps.
That's right. That's right. So we're all guided by Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And everyone has to play his role that Heavenly Father assigned to him. You can't have a guy that's trying to play a role that he's not assigned to. He's trying to be the main character. He's not the main character of the show. What's gonna happen? He's gonna get fired. Right? You're in the cast. You're set up to be the extra. You're jumping in the armor. You're pushing the main star away. Start playing his role. Call the police on this.
That's right.
Get rid of it. That's right. And you can't really get mad at the role that you were set to play because that's from Yahweh. As long as you're of the elect.
That's right.
As long as you're of the elect, you can't be mad at it.
As long as you're the elect, right?
Huh?
That's well said. As long as you're the elect.
As long as you're of the elect. Now I was watching the thing about this guy, the guy who played in Menace to Society, the main guy. I got his name. It starts with a T.
What, the guy with the dread or the other one?
The other one.
Oh, the other one.
Yeah. And then he was supposed to be the star in the movie Belly. He was supposed to be the star, but then
You end up with a banana?
yeah, but that banana scene.
That's crazy.
You knew that was him? I didn't even notice that was him.
What?
Oh, that's it?
I didn't notice it was him.
The what? The what?
But the bananas, I'm gonna drop a dime on him.
Oh, okay, okay.
That was him. I didn't even notice that was him until I really seen this video. And then he said, yeah, I was mad, so I was trying to ruin the movie. And that's why he did that scene.
I'm
He
like,
said, yeah, so I was eating the banana all obnoxious. So that was really slow. He was really trying to ruin the movie and get things. But he said that became viral.
It was real.
It wasn't real, bro. It was fake, but it was funny. I don't like that. Oh, I got drop a dime. The food pieces were on his lips. He said he did that because he was mad he didn't get the main role. But that's the role that he was meant to play. And it was the best. It was the best role for him to play because that went viral. So if he would have played that role, it probably wouldn't have made the movie good. DMX was good in that movie because the roughness that DMX naturally has. Go ahead. Chauncey. All those names on the place inside Chauncey. Okay, good.
This is Romans 11, verse 7. It says, what then? Israel hath not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election hath obtained it, and the rest were blinded.
Yeah, the rest were blinded. So the elect is going to receive this truth. The elect is going to receive this truth. They're going to digest this truth. The rest are going to be blinded. The rest are going to be blinded. Can I say on that?
It says, according as it is written.
Hey, and another thing, we spoke of what I speak about when I first started, crashing out, right? Hey, when all hell breaks loose and things get tight, all these people are going to crash out. You understand what I'm saying to you? All of these people are going to crash out. Give me that where it says the one that was tender among you. Delicate. There's a scripture about that, yeah. read that. All of these, and when that time comes, when things get tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter, food gets scarcer and all these different things, these people are going to crash out, every single one of them, except for the elect. The elect is the only ones that's going to have that stability. Give me that. Wisdom and knowledge. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy 28, and I'll start at 53. And thou shalt eat the fruit of thine own body, the flesh of thy sons and of thy daughters, which the Lord thy power had given thee, in the siege and in the straitness wherewith thine enemy shall distress thee.
Why? Because of the famine. Because of the famine, right? So they said, nah, the hell, I'm going to go to the lowest levels to feed myself. You see that? That's crashing up. Go ahead.
So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate is
So
high.
a man that was a kind person, tender, I'm thinking of like somebody back in the day that was kind of like that, was like a super cool dude. Even those type of dudes will be that everyone likes, he's a likable guy. Those dudes are going to turn into demons.
That's right.
You see? Go ahead.
His eye shall be evil toward his brother, and toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave.
Right. Because like I said, what's one of the reasons that cause people to crash out? Is stress, overload. You know what I'm saying? All these different things. And also it has to do with a bad diet too. You see? Go ahead. So when you think about the hood and the ghetto, the projects, what do they have on every corner? What do is created on every corner? Fast food joints, right? Liquor stores, right? So you mix that with the stress of being in those communities, right? Or the bad family conditions, and then the music. That is a recipe for crash out. Right? That's why when they unleash on somebody, they're really unleashing that anger from all the stuff. You understand what I'm saying? But then they unload it on this guy. You know what I mean? When they pull out the fusil, they stumble and drop it, and they can't wait to unleash the wrath. The wrath is so deep, they drop the fusil, they're picking it up. They're loading it up. Because they're in wrath and they're trying to get up closer.
Sideways.
That's that wrath, man. It's uncontrollable. And that's why it's important to manage the stress. But hey, the stress that's coming to these people is going to be unmanageable. You dig? That's it on that?
Keep going. Go ahead. Verse 55, Deuteronomy 28 and 55. So that he will not give to any of them of the flesh of his children whom he shall eat.
Yeah.
Because he had nothing left, because he had nothing left him in the siege, and in straitness wherewith thine enemy shall distress thee in all thy gates.
That's right.
The tender and delicate women among you.
We don't have to go ahead.
This is Isaiah 33.
They're gonna crash out the first hour. Go ahead.
Isaiah 33 and verse 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. In strength of salvation, the fear of the Lord is his treasure.
Right. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. Right? So that's the stability. So that means you're not in that spirit of just, doing whatever. You have control. You have mental control. Spiritual control. You're not just gonna go ahead and lose it because of the condition. You understand what's going on. You understand Yahweh Shai is with you. You understand he's bringing this on. We've been speaking about it. You see? They're not going to understand what's going on. They're going to be in darkness. So they're just going to do whatever it takes. You see?
Right? This is the book of St. Matthew, chapter 24 and 12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold.
Right, because iniquity shall abound. Iniquity. Evil. So this is why the Lord is bringing those judgments. He's watching this and it says that he will no longer keep silent. So when he brings those plagues on a high level, the people ain't just gonna lose it, man. Or as Gerald Salente said, when a person has nothing to lose, they lose it. See?
Yeah, and you brought out the point too of how that, a lot of this crash out, the reason behind that is stress and whatnot. And these people already, right now, they can barely deal with their stress. They have to take into that presence, things of that nature. So how much more with all hell breaks loose, man? That's why scriptures speak about, how that if these things happen in the breach, What will happen, you know, when
That's right. That's right.
if it's a drought?
Right.
You know, it's gonna be chaos, man. They're gonna completely lose it, man. Tell that movie.
Yeah. Look how much school shootings is happening. And this is a green tree. You know, so imagine all the rest of these Edomites and these bug outs, you know, these jakes, when things get serious, man. You know? These guys are doing that stuff and they got flat screen TVs, they got Uber, internet.
Yeah.
You know? And they're crashing out like that. That's it on that?
There's one more?
Did I point at you first? Oh, there's one more verse. You said, okay, go ahead.
No, that's not a verse. Another.
Okay, go ahead.
Real quick, Matthew 24:12, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold.
Right, because iniquity shall abound. You know? And that's what's going to lead to the, you know, to the crash out. You know, because of the judgments based upon the iniquity. You know? Not just the iniquity, but the judgment that comes because of the iniquity. The plagues. You know? Okay, that's it or not? Okay, good.
Okay, this is 2nd Ezra 15 and verse 18. For because, let's start verse 19. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, and shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation.
That's going to be the survival of the fittest in that time. You know, all that first world pride, that's done. The survival of the fittest is going to be at that time. You know, and don't expect no chivalry. Women don't expect chivalry. That's not, first of all, it's dead now. At that time, oh goodness. They're going to clunk you on the side of that with a goddamn shovel, man. And ain't nobody going to come and say nothing.
That's true.
You know? Because they're going to be worried about survival themselves. You see? Go ahead.
2nd Ezra 6:22, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty.
Right, it's going to be empty. Those stores that you see, Maxi, IGA, these different stores, they're going to be empty. You know, these different corner stores empty.
Empty. Wow.
Okay? People are going to be like, where am I going to get the food from? Right? Butchers, everything is going to be empty. See? And then what are you going to do? See? What are you going to do? Where are you going to look for food? If everything, all you know is going to buy groceries, cooking from what you got from the groceries. If that's not there, what are you going to do? And then the restaurants can't operate without that, so what are you going to do? All right? These are the times we're coming to, man. Go ahead.
And the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man hear it, they shall be suddenly afraid. At that time shall friends fight one another like enemies. And the earth, at that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies.
That's right. And so you're gonna see, you know, even people that were friends are gonna be trying to kill each other for resources, man. You know? Go ahead. Yeah.
And the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The spring of the fountain shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. Whoso that's it.
Yeah, well, don't be trying to give me, brother. Give me some advice with my relationship. You know, people like that. Brother, I don't know. The spirit left me. Came to the, spirit's not on me right now. Go ahead.
That's it.
I really, I'm having a relationship problem.
No.
This and that's happening. That's with her. You put ketchup all over the house. Oh yeah. Buy some hot dogs.
Yeah, this is Isaiah 24.
Yeah.
But that actually happened. The elder was speaking about how he dealt with this one would put ketchup and mustard all over the house.
Oh yeah.
Oh. I don't gotta tell you the color. Yeah. I don't gotta go into the details of the story. Figure it out.
Isaiah 24 and verse 1. Behold, the Lord maketh the earth empty, and maketh it waste, and turneth it upside down, and scattereth abroad the inhabitants thereof.
Right.
And it shall be, as with the people, so with the priest. As with the servant, so with his master.
Right.
As with the maid, so with the mistress.
That's right.
As with the buyer, so with the seller.
They're gonna be on that. They're all gonna be through. You know, even these celebrities, these people that are on a high level in the society, that's not gonna mean anything when the society crashes, man. Because they're all gonna crash the dollar. dollar is going to crash because they're going to bring in that new digital monetary system. All right? That's the plan. Go ahead.
It says, as with the lender, so with the borrower,
Yep.
as with the taker of usury, so with the giver of usury to him.
That's right. So everyone's going to be in the same position, same scenario. All right?
Same.
Go ahead. No, I'm talking about Sakari. Yes?
No, I got something.
Okay.
Go ahead. In the book of Revelation 13 and 15 and 16, and he caused it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in the foreheads.
Right, he caused it all, right? So in order for them to do that, they got to come with that new system, right? Because that's what that system is going to be based upon. It's going to be based on that digital money, you know? And as more and more people getting chips implanted, you know? More and more tests are being done, you know? They're already ready to roll it out. They're just doing that for the public, you know? They already did it on monkeys. What more tests do we need to do? You know? They worked on a rat, right? But so that that's the wicked. That's Esau, man. Well, the scriptures speak about how he has that God complex. You know, get me that in 2 Thessalonians, man. You know, he has that God complex, thinking that what he's like the Most High is going to be able to see everything, hear everything. That's not going to work. All right. Because the Heavenly Father, he's getting ready to do away with Esau, man, and his system. Right when he's about to fill his belly. So when he's really has that set up, you know, when thinks he has everything in place, that's when the Lord is going to put an end to it. So yeah, we're going to have to go through the time period where he makes it mandatory. You know, the majority of the people have it. You know, we're going to have to go through that. You know, the elect is going to have to live through that. You know. Go ahead.
2 Thessalonians 2, and I'll start at 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, but that day shall not come, except come a following way first.
Sorry.
And that the man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, who opposeth and exalted
that
himself.
man of sin. That's Esau. Esau is the man of sin. Okay? The Edomites. Right? Back then, at that time, it was the Romans. Right. At that time, it was the Romans. Right? Which are Edomites as well.
Not that great.
Go ahead.
Who opposeth and exalted himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped.
Right, so that's what he's doing. He's opposing and exalting himself above all that is called the Most High. That's how he rules. His rulership is in opposition to the Heavenly Father. That's what it is. Okay? GMO foods, the pollution of the earth. You know, the whole mentality that he pushes in the earth. You know, his evolution. Everything this devil does is counter to the Most High. You know, this digital system, which is unbalanced with unjust weights. The money system we have now is unjust weights. Extremely unjust. It's not backed by, it's literally just paper. The only reason it works is because it's called fiat money, because fiat means faith. People have to believe it. It really has no value. Right? When you deal with gold and silver, that always had value, that always will have value. There's so many things you can do with gold and silver. You know? Go ahead.
It says, so that he, as the Most High, sitteth in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is the Most High.
Right. Showing himself that he is the Most High. You know? So that's what he thinks about himself. The Heavenly Father said that, well, I'll show you that you're just a man, and not the Most High. You can give me that scripture? You know? I'm going to show you that you're a man and not the Most High when he brings that judgment. That's what that judgment is for. You know? To flex on Esau. Esau thinks he got it. Most High gave him all of the drone technology and AI. He thinks he got it. The Most High's getting ready to flex on you, man. Okay? Well, he's already flexing on you by showing you them UFOs, man. Just going, stopping, dismantling missiles in the air. He said, you learned a little something. Dismantled it. That's why that guy now said, you're about 1,000 years ahead of them. More than 1,000 years ahead of them, man. Light years, infinity in front of you, man. You can't get on that level. You can never get on that level, man. Go ahead.
All right, this is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 28, and verse.
How can someone so imperfect create something perfect?
Right.
Esau can't create nothing perfect, man. Even the AI is super flawed, man. Making all kind of mistakes. All right? See, us, when we get to the kingdom, our inventions are going to be on a way higher level because we're going to actually be perfect. You know? Go ahead.
So it says, shall a mortal man be more just than the Most High? Right. Shall he be more pure than his maker?
Right.
The answer is no, man. Okay, this is
Because everything Esau creates has a negative effect on earth and on the people. What we create is going to be harmonious. You know, it's going to be agreeable to wild. You know? Go ahead.
It's going to be self-sufficient too. Creations. Because even like the creation itself, it's self-sufficient, man. If the laws are kept in place, everything will be moving in unison. But Esau's creations and the things he brings in place, you know, they're not self-sufficient. You know, it's counterproductive. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at the car. You know, it always needs gas for it to function. But, you know, if it was us that created some type of vehicle like that, would be, you know, to where that you don't need to always put gas and shit, you know? Because our mindset is not that, oh, we're creating these things to get profit. You know, we're creating it for the benefit of the creation as a whole.
Yeah, Esau's all about profit. Like he'll destroy the whole planet to get money, to get a substance. What?
it shows you that in that documentary. It's on Netflix. It's called Buy Now. The buyer's conspiracy, something like the shopper's conspiracy.
Oh yeah.
And it talks about something that he uses called planned obsolescence.
Yeah.
So basically, he creates a creative item that has a set time to function. So, for instance, an iPhone will create it. Well, it's only going to work for 3 years, so then you can come back and see it and then pay for the next better version.
Well, it happened to
It's
me.
all about greed and profit. But that's the same thing they did with the light bulb, because the old light bulbs were able to last pretty much a lifetime, or longer than that. It lasts pretty much forever, you know. But they said, no, they only got mad. They said, this is false. We need to make it, they gotta buy every few months, you know. And that's what they did. So they made it where it didn't work forever. You know, so what? You gotta constantly buy. So he's greedy. You know, so he destroys based upon his greed.
Ezekiel 28:2, Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am a God, I sit in the seat of God in the midst of the seas, yet thou art a man and not God, though thou set thine heart as the heart of God.
Right. I said you're a man and not God. All right? And your Heavenly Father is going to show you that, man. You know?
Right. Verse 9, wilt thou yet say before him that slayed thee, I am God? But thou shalt be a man, not the Most High, in the hand of him that slayed thee.
That's right.
Thou shalt die the death of the uncircumcised by the hand of strangers, for I have spoken it, say Yahweh Bashem Yahushai.
This is Job 5 and verse 12. It says, he disappointed the devices of the craft, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. He taketh the wise and their own craftiness, and the counsel of the forward is carried headlong.
Right. The counsel of the forward, meaning the counsel of the wicked. You know? Esau. That's what it's going to come to now. Fail. At the end of the day. Right?
I don't know.
Personal phone's pretty
Like
bad.
we were saying, Esau's only going to go so far.
I haven't been.
Right.
So it's going to get to reach a certain level, like the brother was saying, he establishes, you know, a system or a chipped up. But it's not going to be a thing where he gets to rule that New World Order for like 100 years. You know, it's going to be quick, man. As soon as that the MOTB is implemented, man, things going to move forward, you know, in years. To where that World War III, boom, boom, bam, Yahushua is here, man. He's not going to get to lay back and keep his feet and enjoy the fruits of his labor, man. You know, it's going to be time. That's it, that's all. And now it's the rulership of that of Yahushua.
That's right.
Anything else?
Where the Lord basically said, I see Satan cast down as a lightning.
No, I was talking about fire.
No, no, I can't.
Let me know when you have that. Go ahead.
Job 20:4, Knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short?
The triumphing of the wicked is short. You know? So Esau's rulership was a short period. It's only 500 years Esau's been in power. You know? When you go back to the Byzantine Empire, right, we were in power for 1,000 years. See, that's that history Esau tried. You know? Go ahead.
The triumphing of that the
Well, the
triumphing.
DNA doesn't prove it. You know, Esau got all this disinformation on it. All this stuff on it, man. So it's like you're literally fighting against mountains of lies. You know? But that's why you gotta, you can't be lazy. You gotta do the research, right? To really dismantle, because the truth is there. No matter what Esau comes with, we know the truth. We know what the scriptures say. We know what the truth is, man. So the more we dig into it, the more that them lies are going to be dismantled, man. That's what Esau doesn't want, man. Go ahead.
That the triumphing of the wicked is short.
Esau gets scared, man. He said, you know what, I'm gonna do more research and I'm gonna do a documentary. Well, some of them were black, some of them. Well, some of them were. I mean, some.
They converted.
Bro, I see that Esau switch up in live time, bro. See, because they know the truth. They know the truth, man. Right? So Esau's a real devil, man. He'll tell a straight-faced lie. Go ahead.
Like in the spirit, they all know the truth, right? In the spirit.
Well,
they see that with that.
Well, some of them are truly deceived. Some of them are truly deceived and really believe the lies that they were told.
What I mean by that, they see that with superior.
Well, they see that. Yeah, they see that in the spirit. They see that in the spirit. But ultimately, this devil is funny, man. The art was different. It got dirty quick. But the only thing that got dirty was the face and the hands. The clothes didn't get dirty. So it's like this devil would just make up anything and put it in your face.
Please, do you see, madam?
And he'll fight for you to believe it,
Trust me.
So a lot of these jakes are so simple because they don't understand or know, they'll accept it. Oh, that's true. It was a bit dusty in that region.
That's what I learned at university.
No, I had a guy straight from university tell me, my professor showed me that black people rule. He told me don't tell nobody. Yeah. Why you gotta keep silent? Because they're a bunch of devils, that's why. So don't trust them, Esau says. And Jake, you trusted what Esau said. That's Jake's problem. Okay? Because he comes in a suit and a tie, he's immaculate words and speeches. Oh yeah, I gotta believe it. It sounds like he knows what he's talking about. But that's what a con man does. A con man, the word con and con man means confidence. He gotta gain your confidence. How does Esau gain your confidence? Sounding like he knows what he's talking about. He doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. Just be lying. Sometimes he knows, but he's just straight up lying, bro.
Just like the simple.
If he finds out, well, that's like the Richard Pryor skit where he went into the tomb of the Egyptians and he was going to put 2 Edomites. And he goes, he said, wait a minute, all these pitched faces are black. They're black. The Edomites backed out and locked him in there. Oh, no. Well, that's Esau. Okay, that's what Esau was doing. That's so Esau, because Esau didn't want that truth to come out, man.
Richard Pryor, right? Yeah. That's a long time ago then.
Yeah, man. Backed out. Rich Pryor said, oh my God, they're all black. Oh my gosh. They locked it, but you closed the door on them. Yeah, but that was true. You see, he showed truth because, and you know what they would say, no, we don't know what color they were. Those same guys that locked them in there would go around saying, we don't know what color they were. In that region, they might have been a little Arab looking. They'll put like a little 2% of truth to throw you off the trail, Well, they weren't blonde hair and blue eyes. I think they were like olive skin. Shut your ass up. shut your ass up. And that's the thing with us. Well, I'll say, you know, with us, we're not listening to Esau's nonsense. We scoff at Esau. You know, this madness. And he loses because he's not used to Jake or anybody coming up against him in that manner. You know, in his data. You know? Go ahead, man.
Job 20 and 5. That the triumph of the wicked is
you don't know what you're talking about, right? You have no clue. Wow. And they always try to one-up you. When you find out you know something, and then they don't know it, they always try to, oh, you know, it could have been this. I said, no, it's not that. I have to tell put this Edomite in this. I said, no, it's not that. You're absolutely wrong. This and that, the third. He said, oh. I'm trying to figure, you know what, I can't defeat this guy. You know? Man.
I just want to make a point. Even the Arabs that the Esau enemy, okay, even though the enemy, the Arabs, they don't go against Esau history that much, you know. It's like they got a bond, like, you know, the enemies, but it stays there, you know. They don't go like deeper, like in history.
Yeah, they don't go deeper. It's not the heathen don't do it, period.
They don't do it.
The heathen don't have that real fighting spirit against Esau.
That's right.
Esau's society like Jacob does, which has always been like that. If you go back to this nation, they'll fight against you. Give me the king, brother. The nation, is it Esther? No, it's not Esther. Judith? Is it Judith? Ezra? No, it's not Judith. Which one? It might be Ezra. I think it's Ezra. This nation, they're constantly fight against kings. Yeah. So our spirit was always to rebel against Esau's. Not just Esau, but heathen in general.
If you let them build a temple.
Yeah.
You don't see another dime.
Yeah, because just to add to the brother's point, because we're the natural aristocrats of the earth. So when we're under captivity, knowing who we are, of course we're going to cause upwards and try to go back to where we're supposed to be. These heathens, they don't have that fighting spirit, because ultimately they're not meant to rule. You know, we're meant to rule. You know, if you're sovereign, you know you're sovereign. What's going on? How come I'm under these services?
That's right.
So naturally, you're gonna have that spirit to just found out the truth and the urge to go back to your rightful position.
Yeah, because Jake knows deep down something is wrong.
Yeah.
You know, when he looks at things like, this just don't feel right. You know, so that'll cause Jake to go do research. You know, certain things up. Yeah. What you got, bro? You found it?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, let me know what you got. You got something? Yeah. Okay. Matter of fact, get me with the even lights. No, matter of fact, Job 9 and 24. Job 9 and 24. Okay? That's how Esau operates, man. He was set up to bring deception. You have to remember, Esau was set up to bring deception. You know? So that's what he came with. And one of the main deceptions was the whitewashing of history. You know, went back to the Renaissance period. That was one of the biggest deceptions he had. You know, because that put him in a state of in the minds of the people as a superior race. See, so then the people that's why Esau could do no wrong. Well, in a lot of cases, when Esau does certain things, if someone else did it, especially if Jake did it, it would demonize all Jakes in their eyes. But Esau could do all kind of wickedness in these other countries, and they don't look at them like that as in general. They look at that one person like, you understand what I'm saying? Because that whole whiteness, that's witchcraft. You know, that thought process is witchcraft. You know?
I got it.
Okay, go ahead.
This says Ezra 4 and verse 11. It says, this is the copy of the letter that they sent unto him, even to Artaxerxes the king. Thy servants, the men on this side the river, and at such a time be it known unto the king that the Jews which came up from thee to us are come to Jerusalem, building the rebellious and bad city, and have set up the walls thereof and joined the foundations. Be it known now.
It's called a rebellious.
Yeah,
you know, Jake is rebellious, man. Right? Against the heathen, right?
It says, be it known now unto the king that if the city be builded and the walls set up again, then will they not pay toll, tribute, and custom, and so thou shalt damage the revenue of the kings. Now because we have maintenance from the king's palace, and it was not meet for us to see the king's dishonor. Therefore have we sent and certified the king, that search be made in the book of the records of thy fathers. So shalt thou find in the book of the records, and know that this city is a rebellious city,
Right.
and hurtful unto kings and provinces, and that they have moved seditions.
Well, what does the sedition come from? Sedition comes from truth, right? They even call Paul a seditious fellow. So yeah, it's a wicked king. They don't follow the laws of the Most High. That's truth, and that's exposition, man. So Jake was always known to expose people, right? You know, that's how it starts. It starts with the exposing, man. That makes people want to rise up. This is a wicked tax. Look at this, that. What do you think was causing a lot of those rebellions in Rome, man? Jake. You know?
Right? It says, and that they have moved sedition within the same of old time, for which cause was the city destroyed. It says, we certify that the king, that if this city be built again, and the walls thereof set up.
See, Esau in this time he had a lot of secret societies. He did things real covert in this kingdom, you know. But guess what? The Most High had plans amongst them. You know, that's why the scriptures speak about how their own tongue falleth upon them. You get me that? Zakar, their own tongue? You know? Meaning that the people that were within that organization will come out and expose them. And some of them were Jakes. You know, that may have looked like other nations. You know? Yeah. Let me know when you got that and read that real quick.
This is the book of Psalms.
Oh, there's one more?
Yeah.
Okay, read the one more.
It says, by this means thou shalt have no portion on this side of the river.
Okay, go ahead.
This is the book of Psalm 64, verse 8. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away.
That's right. That means they'll be exposed by people within, you know, their organizations, man. You had like John Todd, you had different people, man. You know, Jordan Maxwell, you know, people that, you know, expose certain things. You know, and then what happened was it gained attraction, you know. And then the apostles and elders, you know, they've been going into things, and then these things just confirm what the apostles and elders have been saying through the scriptures. You know? So everything was working against Esau from the beginning anyway. You know, sleeper cells, Jake. And Jake was constantly pushing these things. You know, this is a wicked society, you know, and it'll kind of break down certain injustices and whatever. You know, but that's how Esau operates, man. Go ahead. That's the same plate that gave you a ticket to. Okay, so go ahead. Who's reading? Go ahead, bro. What's the car reading? Okay, go ahead. It's bugging?
Job 9 and 24. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?
That's right. So, you know, the earth was given into the hand of Esau. What did he do? He covered the faces. Meaning that he put, as a matter of fact, look at that word covered in the Hebrew. Okay? He put his image up as the image of the Most High, the image of the angels. You know, the image of the Israelites, the image of those that were ruling the Byzantine Empire, which is all a lie. Okay? That's all a lie, man. So now when we're fighting the truth against the lies now. You know, and the lies have been pushed for many centuries, man. You know, they had a period called iconoclasm, which in iconoclasm they were destroying the images, the dark images, man. See, that's gonna be hard to find. It's gonna be hard for you to find that history. You gotta find certain secret books, you know, to find about that, because Esau's obviously that's gonna be a big thing that he wants to hide, you know. Right?
Totally, right?
Yeah.
It says here
And the thing with Esau, it says Esau is such a devil. He'll shoot like all kind of information at you, and it's all lies, right? But you got to dismantle the lies.
right, that's
like,
right.
If you give you a comment, you got to like 10 different lies within the comment. And you got to go back, okay, go point by point to touch every lie. Shoot to see what lie sticks, you know.
Yeah.
And then after you dismantle that, he'll come with some more lies
and see what sticks. You know? Yo, this guy is devil, man. He's something else, man. He's something crafty, man.
The walls of the devil.
Yeah, the walls of the devil. Yeah, that's right. That's right. All right.
It says here the word cover in that scripture. It's the word kasa. Which goes into cover.
See, we don't need to bring out 20 different points. I can bring out one point. That's the truth. You know what I mean?
That's right,
Yeah.
that's
To
right.
cut that whole thing. Well, if you look at the images, it's clearly dark skin images were opposite. Well, you know, I don't know. Well, what does the DNA say? And then show me a king that did it, and then this and that.
That's why it says you can't do nothing against the truth before the truth.
And they turned white because they were over the equator, and then this and that, and this and that. All these lies, the pseudoscience that Esau's pushed for so long, man.
That's right.
And they said it's a part of the melanated people couldn't live up in the north. I said, wait a minute, what about the Eskimos? The Eskimos are super dark. They're in the north. That's not the point. You go to something else, man. We'll go to something else.
On laisse aller, genre.
That's how this devil operates, man. That's how we call him the devil. All right? Go ahead.
Yeah, so the word kasa, which is cover, conceal, hide, to be covered, cover, clothe, to cover, conceal, to cover.
Yeah, he say, you show the statistics, right? You say, oh, wait a minute, you guys, you know, he said, oh, blacks do the most crime. And they say, no, actually, when you look at the statistics, white people do the most crime. Whoa, look at the per capita. The per capita, right? So they go to per capita. And then, so my thinking now is this, okay, well, let's deal with those that are not called criminals, the biggest criminals on the earth, the DuPont family, these different families who have destroyed and killed millions of people that are not in those statistics. Let's add them. You'll blow everyone out the water with that. Everyone. But that's not added. Those are not even added in criminal statistics. And another thing is that a lot of those people that's classified as white are not even white people.
Mm-hmm.
Arabs, okay, Hispanic, all right?
That's right.
Different nations that's not white. They're like, they just told me there was no option for me. Just put white. They told me just put white. You see? You see how the devil sets things up? And then he can play with the per capita. Yo, man, I'm telling you, man. Well, the Most High is putting the spirit out there now. You know, the Lord's putting the spirit, man. He's putting the spirit out there, you know, certain brothers, you know, to do certain things and other people to come out with truth in different ways.
That's right.
And Esau's getting, he's fighting. You can't win against the truth, man.
No.
You cannot win it. Oh, you can do nothing against it. Give me that, please. Give me that. You can do nothing against the truth before the truth. You know, get that Zakar. Get that Zakar. You can do nothing against the truth before the truth, man. Woo. You know? So even the more they fight against it, the more that the truth is going to come out. People got to rebuttal. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Go ahead, man.
To finish, it says here,
Oh,
to
dude,
cover,
man, he's done. He's at the end now. He's at the end. Okay? Go ahead.
to cover oneself. It says here in the strong definition, to cover for clothing or secrecy.
Right, to cover for clothing or secrecy. That's right. Oh, for secrecy.
For secrecy.
Read that again. Read that. Hold on. Brothers, listen up. This is the word for cover. Right? Cover the faces of the judges there. Read that again.
To cover for clothing or secrecy.
Secrecy, man. You wanted to keep that a secret.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But this truth has came out through the prophets. The prophets are the ones who've been pushing it, man. Who really made it worldwide about, you know, the dark ages and the so-called black men ruling the dark ages. Okay? And the Byzantine Empire. We have made that popular. Okay? Go ahead. Oh, no, the Moors they were Arab mixed. The word Moor means black. It actually means black. That was a description. They were super dark-skinned men, okay? They were dark-skinned. They were from the kingdom of Judah. You know what you talking about, man? They had afros and all that, man. So some Ishmaelites had that, but they were straight up Negroes, man, Negroes. What are you talking about? See, but that's them to try to dismiss Jake. Anything that dismiss Jake, they'll say it's Chinese people. They'll say it's Taiwanese. Anything is except for Jake. It can't be Jake. Go ahead. But then you look at the images of the Moors, it's clearly super dark-skinned black people. Super dark.
That's right.
It's like, it's undeniable. Yeah, but they had a mixture of Arab. Because they were Muslim, that's a religion, man. That's a religion, bro.
It's not a nationality. Just be quiet. And then you gotta tell them, just shamai, shut down. You know? Go ahead, man.
This is 2 Corinthians.
And you can't get aggravated because it's filthy conversation.
Yeah.
You know? So like that's it. Okay, go ahead, brother.
Okay, this is 2 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 8. For we can do nothing against the truth, but for the truth.
Right. You can do nothing against the truth but for the truth. So they can't win. They cannot win. They're the information war. They're losing and they're going to continue to lose. Right?
Yeah. In Psalms 58 and 3, the wicked are estranged.
And that's Jake. And that's the biggest weapon to Jake, because Jake, they get all flustered. You can't just do it, just lie and try to justify the wickedness that our people do. Our people do wickedness too.
Yeah.
You can't justify that. You don't have to justify that. Okay? Because Esau is still the biggest criminal. It don't matter. Jake could do 1,000,000 shootings in the hood, 1,000 shootings, it doesn't matter.
That's right.
Okay? Esau, bar none, is still the worst. So Esau speaking about crime and anything like that is hypocritical. You understand?
Like Jake could have the guns, but Esau makes them.
Esau put the guns in the neighborhood. He set up the crates. There's stories in Chicago and he's ever played of trains, loads of trains. Just item drop. Just drops gun train in the hood. What's that? What's that about? A care package. What's that about? That's a setup, man. That, and then they give you gangster rap, and they created the gang culture of what you see today.
That's right.
The so-called gangs, the Crips and things like that, those at first were supposed to be protection against the police.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what it was supposed to be. But then they created the Bloods, and they read it, and they created a dissension. And they had a lot of the times, a lot of those drive-bys were actually police doing those drive-bys. When you look, there was police did a lot of those drive-bys. And they had the flags, they put on the bandanas, and then they came and did the drive-bys, and then what would happen? A gang war would happen. So Esau is behind all of this shit. The scriptures speak about if mischief come upon thee, you shall find him there first, man. See, but we're going into the deeper parts of it, man. They just want to deal with the surface. If you want to get rid of a problem, you can't just go on the surface. You have to go to the root of the problem. That's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with the root. Esau doesn't want us to deal with the root because he's at the root.
That's right.
You understand? They don't want us to deal with the root because he's at the root. Go ahead.
It says here in Malachi 1 and 4, whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus said the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. They shall call them the border of wickedness.
They shall call it the border of wickedness, meaning everywhere that they go, they bring wickedness with them. That's what it is. But Esau is real good at covering things up. He's real good at doing things in secrecy. Blowing up certain issues, exaggerating certain issues, right? But then taking the blame and the magnifying glass off of himself. Right? Yeah. He's very good at those things. So you're fighting against that, right? But hey, all you gotta do is keep pushing the truth. Keep pushing the truth, pushing the truth, pushing the truth. It's gonna eventually overpower the lies. Yeah. Go ahead.
And the people against whom the Lord had indignation forever.
Right. And the Most High's indignation against Esau. Okay? Go ahead. That's the same one that did the ticket.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
This is Proverbs. Proverbs. Job 24 and verse 17. It says, for the morning is to them even as the shadow of death. If one know them, they are in the terrors of the shadow of death.
Yeah, the morning represents the truth. They don't want the truth. And you can see it when Esau, when you bring out the truth, like Esau loses it. He gets those truths? Oh man, I just love seeing Esau just squirm, boy. Yeah, but and then when you say, oh, well, okay, I'll bring up some more information. No, I mean, some of them were black. See, yeah, there were some black. Maybe like a couple. I know there was a couple. Yeah, now you got to switch it. I thought, how you know that though? How you know this? Right? You were just fighting me about it's not, they weren't black and this and that. Well, I mean, some of the Moors were. I mean, some of them were. Some, yeah. That man is Satan and the devil, man. That's why I'm going to keep bringing out these truths, man. Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai, man. Because Esau, one thing he can't do is he can't win against the truth. Truth, that's his biggest, that's the weapon.
That's right.
Jacob's trying to do all these different things. The biggest threat to Esau is the truth. Because everything he's built was on lies. The foundation of his society is lies. You know? Good. Well, it's like the Wizard of Oz, right? He lost his power when the curtain was pulled. Yeah. See the old man there? Before people all scared, you know? Imagine, these dudes were the wild man? This was the wild man? He's in a suit and a tie, he's bossing me, nose in the air, bossing me around. That's the wild man. These guys could be taken down. You know what I'm saying to you? Yeah. These guys could be taken down. See, the way it looks now, like Esau was always in power. From the beginning, from Adam. You know, from Adam, it was an Edomite. You know, when they showed the image, it was he. The Babylonians, the Edomites. Don't forget the Babylonians. The Egyptians, everything. The Egyptians. Oh, man, a lot of witchcraft, man, that's been put on the minds of these people. They're under spells, man. They're literally under spells. And they literally think that. Like, they think it all subconsciously. They're not going to say it, but in their mind, when they have pick up the image of a Babylonian, if they put a white guy there with blonde hair, they're not going to say nothing because of all that indoctrination. Oh, wow, look, this is how Nebuchadnezzar look. Look. Wow. I wonder if they dig that image, that picture up somewhere. Nah, man. Those are lies, bro. You see? Go ahead, man.
It says here in Isaiah 14.
Hey, you tell a lie long enough, it becomes the truth.
That's right.
Go ahead.
That's right.
Isaiah 14 and 15. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the side of the pit. They that shall see, that shall narrowly, they that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble and did shake kingdoms?
Yeah, they're going to be looking at you sideways, looking at you as scum. Well, the scripture said that what? Thou shalt be greatly despised amongst the nations. You know? Well, part of him being despised is the truth coming out about him. You know? That will cause him to be despised. Also, the things that he's... Man, listen, man. The past truths and the present truths about him will cause him to be despised, man. He's doing a lot of wickedness right now, man. You know? Got something else?
Yeah. Habakkuk 2 and 16. Thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory. So they're going to be revealed. Edom is going to come to be acknowledged as being the men of sin. Okay? And their glory, the way that they've been brought up, all those lies are going to be exposed. You see, as it says, the day of the Lord will not come until the son of perdition is revealed. And this is the time that we're coming in. Well, this is the time that we're in now.
1 Ezra 4 and 38. As for the truth, it endureth and is always strong, it liveth and conquereth forevermore.
The truth is eternal. Okay, that's why you know that wisdom excelleth folly, and just as the truth is over lies. Okay, the truth doesn't have a time limit. Okay, see, but lies, since it's not real, it cannot stand.
That's right. Okay.
But the book of Ecclesiastes 2 and verse 13, then I saw that wisdom excelleth folly as far as light excelleth darkness.
That's it. You shake your hand, sir. Go ahead.
But yeah, so again, we understand that wisdom excels folly. Okay? Yeah, and again, that's why that's another way to that we understand and know, based off that statement, that this kingdom cannot be established forever.
That's
okay?
right.
Because we know, because this kingdom was not established according to wisdom.
No.
Okay, and again, just the fact that you're not pushing for the words of Yahweh Bashim Yashai, you're not ruling according to the law, statutes, and commandments. You know that this kingdom cannot stand. Okay.
Give me Job 13 and 3.
It says here in Job 13 and 3, surely I will speak to the Almighty and desire to reason with the Most High.
This Psalm 15.
But ye are forgers of lies. Ye are all physicians of no value.
You are forgers of lies, all physicians of no value, man. That's what Esau is. Look up the word forger. Let's look at the word forger in the blue letter. This is what Esau is. He's a forger of lies. This is what he's good at. Oh, which the heavenly Yahweh Shai, said what? He is the father of lies. Got it? Okay, bring that out.
This is John 8 and 44. Ye of your father the devil, and the lust of your father you will do.
Right.
He was a murderer from the beginning.
Satan didn't murder nobody. Okay, Satan's not in trial on heaven and waiting for death row. Mad. No, Satan is doing what he has to do. It's Esau, the so-called white man, the physical counterpart of Satan on the earth, that did that. That created that murder from the beginning. Was going back to his forefather in the spirit, Cain. You understand? Go ahead.
He was a murderer from the beginning and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him.
You know what I'm saying? He can't stay in the truth. He can put a little truth here, but he can't sit in the truth.
No.
Like a cold bath. He can't just sit in, in the cold bath. They can't stay in there forever. They gotta get out of that. Eventually. Unless they want to have to cut off some members. He cannot sit in the truth, man. See, we can sit. See, that's the beauty of what we have through the spirit of Yahweh Shemah. We can sit in the truth. We can get deeper in the truth. We can immerse in the truth, man.
Yeah. Just as it says, they don't come to the light, lest their deeds be reproved.
The morning is to them as the shadow of death.
That's what it is, man. They can't abide in the light. They're vampires.
Yeah.
They're spiritual vampires. They can't abide in the light, man.
If one know them, they are the terrorists of the shadow of death.
That's it.
Hey, so when all you got to do to defeat Esau is just keep coming with truth. Keep looking up the truth. Keep bringing out the truth. The more truth, more truth, more truth, more truth, man. More truth.
That's it.
It's okay. I'll look it up. Yeah, what about this guy? Well, I'll look it up. No, you don't need to. I already did. No, we're going to go deeper. Find out what's really going on. Like the old cartoons. Like, you got to investigate this, Scooby. Investigate further. Right. What do you find there, Scooby? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because see, the thing with us, we don't trust what you say, Esau. We don't trust what you say. We got to look up. We got to back up what you say. We're the authorities. We got to back up what you say. Because our foundation is Yahweh Shai.
That's it. Boy, the word tapal.
We validate you. You don't validate us, man. Huh?
So can be validated.
Well, he might say something that's correct. That's what I mean by validated. He may say something correct, but we got to tell you if it's correct.
Yeah. We got to give the stamp.
We got to give the stamp of approval.
That's it.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so the word forger in this precept, it says here tapal, and it reads to smear, plaster over, stick, glue.
That was which word?
Forgery.
To smear with lies. God, so he'll find the truth. And there'll be some lies in there. I mean, some truth in there. He'll find some truth. But it's smeared with lies, brother.
Thou shalt not die.
What is it? Smeared it with lies. Read that again, man.
Yeah, it says here.
Yo, that is serious. I gotta do a lesson on this one. Go ahead, bro.
The word tapal.
Wow.
It says here to smear, plaster over, stick,
The truth is under there somewhere. And you gotta take off the plastic. Just like that image that we have that where the guy is painting
painting over it.
That's that plastic. This is what Esau is about, man. So it's like, now you gotta work. See, because Esau according to the data, and he's right, according to the data that's out there, that's what it says. But now we gotta go deeper than the lies. Now we gotta take off that plaster. You see? See, that's the thing with Esau, man.
Go ahead. It says here in the strong definition, to stick on as a patch.
Because now he can't just say it's ridiculous. All the information out there now, he has to kind of agree, but he'll agree in a way where he still has lies in it. Yeah, I mean, the Moors were black. Well, some of them, a couple of them, a few of them. None of them. The Moors were black people, period. The Christians at that time in Europe that were ruling Europe were black people, period. Well, look at the coat of arms. The coat of arms is clear as day, bro.
Brown nose.
Oh, no, I gotta, you know what I'm gonna do? I need that. I need that. I'm gonna pull out the documents. I'm gonna pull out the documents. Okay? Maybe this is smudge. You know, maybe his wide nose and this is all smudge. And the afro, maybe the afro was just a smudge in the ancient paintings. No. Okay? That's what they were. They were so-called black people at that time. What are you talking about, man? Go ahead, bro.
The strong definition, it says to stick on as a patch, figuratively to input false sew up. To input falsely to project lies.
That's right.
So add lies, and even as it says to patch on, so they're adding, like you were saying, they're just adding over the truth.
Yes.
That's it.
It's what the serpent did to Eve.
That's it.
You know, that shall surely not die, you know. She gave a bit of truth, but it was smeared with lies.
And Esau is so diligent. That's the thing with Esau, and one thing about Esau, he's diligent with this stuff. Because, you know, he's passionate about lies. So he's diligent with it. So that's why even if you look up, type in anything, right? Jesus, Shakespeare, straight up super white images. All some of them look different, but they're all white. All so-called white, all Edomites, you know?
Abraham.
Right? No, the pharaohs. The pharaohs in Egypt. The nose is off, but we got the AI to draw in the nose, the Edomite nose. Small point Edomite nose. You know? Come on, man. This man is a deceiver, man. This man is a deceiver. And then when you go to the original drawings, they don't look like how they have it drawn. You know? And then even if you get those books, even some of those are like bleached out. You saw, trust me, you worked hard to try to bleach it out. You put bleach on, scrub off the melanin. So some of those you see, and then some of them he drew in stringy hair on top of the afros. That's why they'll have the big head, but then the big hair, but then it's like long. Who has hair like this? Where did you see that? Was it a mullet?
It's a bad bird.
No, he had a mullet. Huh? So the Lord had a mullet. You know what I'm telling me?
I saw this picture this week.
Huh?
I saw this picture like that describing the Lord with a mullet and they put gloves and black socks here.
Black socks. They got Air Forces.
He got black socks.
Oh, man. Ooh, because his feet were
Right.
Because he was wearing black socks.
Yo,
Oh, man.
this
You
girl
went
is
in.
fucking funny, bro.
You have to show them
Oh my
that picture,
gosh.
man. You see it.
No, I gotta see that. But I know the mullet. A lot of them have mullets.
Yeah.
You know? That's it. Like as the West African nonsense.
Yes.
Anyways, go ahead.
Okay, this is Isaiah 25 and 7. And he will destroy this.
So, you know, we
mountain.
can't even get mad because, you know, Esau's he's doing him, you know? He's doing him. You know? I can't get mad at a dog for, you know, dog food. I can't get mad. Pooping on the tree. I can't get mad. Go ahead.
And he will destroy this mountain, the face of the covering cast over all people, and the veil that is spread over all nations.
Even the Lord is going to remove that patch, that plaster that He's put upon the nation. All that lie and deceit that they've portrayed on the earth.
Oh, yeah.
See?
He's removing it now.
That's why Yahweh Shai is called the truth. Because when he returns, he's going to bring the truth on this earth. See? All the lies that Esau, all the deception that Esau established, when Yahweh Shai returns, there's no denial. Like you said, you only need one point. The truth, you only need 1 point, and it's going to make everything crumble. You see?
That's right. Yeah, that's right. That's right. And then they gotta hit you with a bunch of plastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's like, yo, bro, do I really have to sit down? And it's like, it's labor to sit down when you leave those type of comments. It's labor to have to go to point to point to point to dismantle it. And then come with another paragraph of lies.
Yeah.
You know? Maybe a couple truths in there. And then you gotta go through that. Come on, man, that's labor. That's why my response, I'm just gonna do a video on it. I don't mean to respond to that. I'm just going to do a video on it. Go ahead.
It says here, 1 John 2:21, I have not written unto you because they know not the truth, but because they know it, and that no lie is of the truth.
No lie is of the truth, man. Okay? So you can't have lies mixed in with the truth. It has to be the truth. You know? See that? Yeah, 99.9 just won't do. You know? You got something right there.
Psalms 58 and verse 3, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies.
That's what Esau was created for. How can I get mad? Can't get mad. That's what he was created to do, to speak lies, man.
He's a liar from the beginning.
That's right. Liar from the beginning, man. So just let him do what he do, but you know, you could, you know, all you got to do is pull out the truth and be confident in your point. You don't got to get all flustered, and, you know. He gets flustered. He's on the back foot. You know, when he's fighting on the back foot, you're supposed to be listen, bro. It's not the facts. This, and this. That's it. Oh, I told you this, and that. Plus this. You know, you don't got to be all on the back. So listen, bro. You're just a liar. Just tell him, listen, you're just a liar. How am I a liar? You're just a liar. I know you. Okay? And if he knows he's lying, his goal is what? To get you to believe it. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. If you don't believe it, he failed. See? Say something? Go ahead.
This is 2 Thessalonians 2:8.
And you know what? I guarantee that when Esau is in them, when we first get Esau in captivity, we're going to be talking to him about his lies. I thought you had the high IQ. No, that's not what I meant. You didn't mean that? You didn't mean that?
I said technically.
Tell us about how the skulls determine how intelligent a race is. You know? Go ahead, man. Go ahead, Spark. You got something?
This is 2 Thessalonians 2:8. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming.
That's it. Yahweh Shai is going to return and destroy not only Esau, but the deception that he has promoted on this earth, that darkness that he has spread all over the earth. Okay, because again, Yahweh Shai is the truth. You see, so he's going to come and bring forth that light on the earth. As it says, the knowledge of the Lord is going to be like water in the ocean. See, that's as the water that covered the ocean, that's how the knowledge of the Lord is going to be on the earth. Sure.
So that means that that's when ultimately when Yahweh Shai comes, it's going to be established. You know, but even now, that flood of truth is coming in.
Yeah.
You know, and they can't stop it. You know, this is why they want to do away with free speech.
This is 2 Ezra 6, and verse 27. It says, for evil shall be put out, and deceit shall be quenched. As for faith, it shall flourish, corruption shall be overcome, and the truth, which hath been so long without fruit, shall be declared.
Right, the truth that has been so long without fruit is being declared even now. You know? And this is something that the Edomites wanted to hide. You know, but it's coming out before their face. You know, TikTok is a big thorn in their side, right? So TikTok, a lot of truth comes out on TikTok. You know?
Go ahead, bro.
Are you serious?
It's crazy. Go and get me
Yeah, that's
Basically, you know that they do it.
That's what we're doing. Go, brother, go ahead. So this is Isaiah 60 and verse 2. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. But the Lord shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee.
Yeah, you know, gross darkness has indeed covered the people, man. And then who's responsible is Esau, either, man. Yeah, his doctrines, you know, things that he pushes, and the mindset that he pushes on the people. That's, you know, engulfed in the darkness, man. So where that, you know, people don't even believe in a higher power. You know, people don't even believe in the scriptures, man. You know, because the scriptures, when you search the scriptures out, as we're going into, you know, it gives you the answers to all things, man. You know, what nation you are, that's one example, right? Because we read the scripture of the covering cast that Esau has cast over the nations. He has given them false identities. You know, calling Moab Chinois, Chinese. You know, calling the Indian, what's it called, Elam Indian.
Right.
You know, that's all the lies that Esau is bombarding the people with, because he has to do that, man.
Yeah.
Because if he doesn't, then people are going to figure him out.
That's the smear.
Yeah, he has to smear it.
Yeah.
You know, that's like his shield to protect them.
Or the covering cast.
You know, for the people not to know who he is. You know, because if everybody's lineage goes back to a biblical name, that means his lineage has to go back to a biblical name too.
Yeah.
And if you do the diligent research, you're gonna find out, oh, yo, this guy's Esau. You know, and then you're gonna find out, oh, he's the caveman. He's the man that was chased out from among other people, man. The basis of men. And he doesn't want that information to come out. So therefore, he portrays himself as being everybody, Egyptians, Greeks, everyone on the planet Earth. That's him. You know, that's that darkness, man. That's deception.
He has benefited that confusion. See? So he'll be able to hide among the nation. So that in a sense, that's in his carnal mind, he believes that by doing so, he can avoid judgment.
Yeah. Well, you can't, man. You know, all the judgment is going to come by your hand by shooting shot, man.
It says it waited for you.
It's waiting for you.
It's waiting for you. You can run all over you want. You know, you can run, but you can't hide. But eventually, you're going to have to cross that line.
Sure. So I got it. This is Isaiah 25:7. It says, and he will destroy in this mountain the covering, the face of the covering cast over all people, and the veil that is spread over all nations.
Right, and how is that starting? It's by, you know, the men of the Lord being out there actually giving the true nationalities of these nations unto them, man. You know, that's how this is starting. You know, to where that, you know, even normal people, some of them, they have the knowledge of who they are biblically, because sometimes you might ask them a question, you go back to this guy, I know, yeah. Especially Ishmael, you know, when you tell them that, you know, the Ishmael's like, yeah, I know I'm an Ishmaelite. You know, that's part of the Lord's work, man, of the covering cast being, part of that covering cast being taken off, man. You know? Because, hey, the truth, like we read, you know, the truth which hath been someone without fruit has to be declared. It's a lot. It has to be declared, man. You know, things have to be put back into the proper order. You know? Yeah, but the deception only reigned for a limited time. Like in what's it called? In Revelation 20, it says what? Esau's gonna go out and deceive for a short period. That's it. So right now we're at that time that what? The expiration date of his deceit, it's up, man. And now it's being revealed.
The deceit is wearing off.
It's wearing off, man. It doesn't have the same effect as before. You know? Now people's eyes are actually being opened. You know, starting with the elect first and foremost, but that movement, that movement is spreading all around, man. You know, to where that even people that's not in the truth is bringing out information about themselves. You know?
A lot of Edomites.
A lot of they're snitching on their own race. You know,
It's like that effect when, let's say, if you start drinking a lot of coffee, when you drink coffee constantly, eventually the effect is not the same, so you have to keep on drinking more. Or the same thing with drugs. Let's say you smoke, you smoke weed one time, it's not going to have the same effect if you keep smoking every day, you know? So the same thing with the deception. People are got accustomed to it, so now they know that the effects of that deception is not as strong as like when they first started, in the time that they were establishing themselves.
Go ahead, bro. Okay, this is Job 34:22. There is no darkness, nor shadow of death, where the workers of iniquity may hide themselves.
right?
darkness was
No, Esau, he can't hide anyone, man. You know what I'm saying? They, what's it called? I think it's somewhere it says the words, he made darkness. It's in Job too. Let's bring it up. I think that's what we just read actually. Like the darkness, damn, something clear in the sight. Yeah, the darkness basically clear in the sight, You know? So Esau, he can't hide himself, man. Who created darkness? The Lord. You know what I'm saying? The deception that Esau has acquired, that gift came from the Lord, he gave him that power to be able to deceive. And once the Lord said your time is up, it's up, man. Like Yahushua said, nothing that is done in secret shall not come, it will come abroad, come to the light.
Hebrews 4 and verse 13, neither is there any creature that is not manifest in his sight, but all things are naked and open unto the eyes of him with whom we have to do.
Yeah, exactly. Everything is bare in the eyes of the Lord. He sees everything. All the works of darkness, all the secret counsels, you know what I'm saying? It's bare in the Lord's eyes, man. That's right. And here it is, the Lord is saying his spirit, to reveal those things that's been in the darkness, man. That's one thing that Esau didn't think of, man.
Yeah.
Of seeing so-called black men, Native Americans, Latinos waking up and pointing the finger and showing that, you're the wicked. You're the devil that the Bible speaks of, man. He never thought about that would happen, man. So he did a laborious work of hiding that truth, But here it is, the Wakha Kodesh is revealing it, man. All that labor from his youth up, all the energy, the time he has spent to put it under the curtain. Look, the Spirit just reveals everything. Now he's losing sleep. He's pulling his head out,
Ruach Kadesh.
I was just gonna say. It says here in John 8 and 31. Then said Yahushua to those Israelites which believed on him, if ye continue in my word, then ye are my disciples indeed, and ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
Yeah, the truth is what's going to make you free, man. You know what I'm saying? Look up that word free in the Hebrew. Because we look up words, we're not like the IUIC. Okay? The truth is what's going to set you free. It's going to liberate you, man. Because you Jakes is captive to these lies. These lies that are told that keeps you in a box. Keep you believing lesser of yourself. But that's all lies. When you go into the truth, ultimately, where the scripture brings the truth, the gospel, right? That's good news for you Israelites, right? That tells you who you really are, not what you've been told, or what it seems like. Oh, like even with what's that? Malachi says, wherein hast thou loved us? JD will believe, you don't have to get it. But JD believe like wherein has the Lord loved us? You know what I'm saying? He don't love us. Look at the condition we in the ghetto. Look at Haiti. You know what I'm saying? But guess what? Because you don't understand the truth. So you're still captive to those lies.
That's right.
What? So the word free. No, the word free.
Okay, it says here the word free. It says here in that scripture, it says eludero. This goes into to make free, set at liberty from the dominion of sin.
Set at liberty. Go ahead.
It says here.
So them lies are chains. Those lies are like chains.
That's right. Yeah.
You understand? Go ahead. That's why Jake can't accomplish nothing because he believes it. I ain't nothing but a Negro. that Igor spirit. Go ahead.
Yeah, it says to make free.
I believe. Go ahead.
To make free, deliver. It says here the strong definition: to liberate, and figuratively to exempt from moral, ceremonial, or mortal liability. Deliver, make free.
That's right. Make free. Living for them lies, man. He shot a lot. He threw a lot of lies out there over the times, man. Go ahead.
That's it.
That's it on there? You can pass it. Okay. You got something, man? Okay. Listen.
This is Psalm 15:21. These things hast thou done, and I kept silence. Though thou thoughtest that I was altogether such as one as thyself, but I will reprove thee and set them in order before thine eyes.
Yeah, that's right. So he's reproved Jake. He got us in order.
told us, where we were going off. Jake is being set in order now. Right? This is not what Esau thought. All the things that Esau put out there, this is the exact opposite result of what Esau wanted with all the things that he put out there. The gangster rap, the fast food joints, the liquor store, everything that Esau put out there, the witchcraft, the TV shows. This is the exact opposite result of what he wanted, is what the men of the Lord are. And we're speaking against all of those things. Brothers getting their health in order, thinking through wisdom. Esau didn't want Jake to be wise. That's not good for business. He wanted Jake to be in that simple-minded state, that JJ from Good Times state, which that was a complete buffoon character. Which you look at most of Jake's shows, they're buffoons. The Wayans brothers, I remember that. That was just straight buffoonery, man. Even the pops, you're probably supposed to have wisdom. What was the pops running around saying? Bang, bang, bang! Wisdom. Well, that's what they wanted Jake to be. And that's what the majority of these Jakes are, man. They don't take nothing serious, man. Like Neely Fuller said, listen to a conversation of an Edomite, and then listen to the conversation of a Jake. Esau would be talking about something constructive a lot of times, and then Jacob would be talking about something stupidness. Yeah, well, he said that, and if he said that to me, I would have knocked him out. Where the apple to? This is on a foolish level. He's not serious. He's not serious minded. Yeah. Oh, and you know what? With that JJ from Good Times, the guy John Amos, which I think he's like Nigerian. He's definitely West African. He even didn't like that character. He used to get mad at Leor. Whatever that guy, not Leor Cohen, but another Norman Lear, who really stole those ideas from Jake's, those different show ideas. But he said that he don't like the fact that this guy's so buffoonish. He wanted to get rid of that type of character. Didn't want him to be so buffoonish and get mad about it. Because Jake had more of a mindset back then. Now Jake just takes whatever role, they don't care how buffoonish it is, how much they're gonna do it. Yeah, that's all they care about. Right? And he even had a mind to say, now, this is not good for our people to ingest. That's why they killed him off the show. See? Go ahead. That's all I can do. You ready?
This is Isaiah 47. In verse 10, for thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, and I said, none seeth me, thy wisdom and thy knowledge hath perverted thee, and thou hast said in thy heart, I am, and none is beside me.
That's right. Thy wickedness has perverted thee.
Right? Verse 12, stand now with thine enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries.
Yeah, this is sorcery, man. This thing that Esau did to Jacob is sorcery, man. And a lot of that sorcery was through the television, through the BET and all these different things, man. Esau knew what he was doing, man. And that's why he's not selling BET to no Jake. He don't care how much Jake tried to buy it, multiple times. Right? So Tyler Perry tried to buy it. The other guy, what's the other guy's name? I can't remember his name. But he tried to buy it too, another Jake. And it was like, they offered like $1.7 billion. He said, now we're going to hold on to it. Why does he want to hold on to it? Black entertainment. Why does the Edomite, so-called white person, want to hold on to the black entertainment term? Huh? Because he's weaponizing it also. Which BT became crap after a while.
Yeah, it's crap.
Yeah, it used to be good back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day.
Good back in the day. 106 apart, like when Free and Agent, it was alright back then, But then it turned into complete garbage, man. Go ahead, bro.
It says, stand now with thine enchantments with the multitude.
They used to have beats and shows, then it's all the shows were foolish and stupid. Well, they had one College Hill, which was nothing but ratchet. That was like the bad girls club at that time. Huh?
No, there's a bad girl. There was like a, you know, the show with the woman that was fighting the basketball wives type shows. There's one called Baddies. It was a complete rap. Well, they had a college show which was similar to that.
Yeah.
You know, back then. You know, so they've been bringing Jake to a degenerate state. You know? But I don't know, you brothers. You remember that one? I'm watching College Hill.
I think so.
Yeah. It was like a reality show back then. Remember that? Go ahead.
Stand out with thine enchantments, with the multitude of thy sorceries. When thou hast labored from thy youth, and so be thou shalt be able to profit, and so be thou mayest prevail.
That's right. So hey, but you're not gonna prevail with your lives. Your lives are coming to an end. So the only thing you can do now is come down with wrath. You know, to establish your NWO. You know, but that's gonna fail as well. You know, you're not gonna be able to accomplish your enterprise. You know. That's something. That's something.
Yeah. Hosea 4 and verse 6, it says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power, I will also forget thy children.
That's right. So hey, so since you forgot Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, you know, the Lord has casted you off. You know, He's made you subject to these lies and the destruction of your enemies. Right? So first and foremost, we're going to face the east. We all praise going on it.
To Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, HaKadosh.
Give honors to the apostles and elders of great notes, salutations. Much love and respect to Akim out there pushing this word out in truth and sincerity. Right? Shema, Yesha Allah, Yahweh, Elohim Nawa, Yahweh, Chud, Shema, Yesha Allah, Yahweh, Elohim Nawa, Yahweh, Chud, Shema, Yesha Allah, Yahweh, Elohim Nawa, Yahweh, Chud, Bad Bab, Kwam Yashral, Shalom.